For more on possible slave reparations in the Caribbean, I'm now joined by Robert Westley, a legal ethics professor at Tulane University in Louisiana in New Orleans. Dr. Westley, welcome.
Thank you.
Slavery happened in many different countries, including the United States. The U.S. has flirted with the idea of reparations, but it's never really taken hold. Why should it be different now in the Caribbean nations?
Well, I want to sort of reframe that a little bit because in the United States, there have been private claims for reparations for slavery that have been brought in the courts. The U.S. government has never supported the idea of reparations for slavery. And what's different, I think, with the Caribbean claims is you have nation states now making these claims against other nation states. And so I think that that's a very exciting new development on an issue that has been somewhat sidetracked ever since 9/11.
I see. People in these nations are decades, even centuries removed from this. Why should they receive benefits when they didn't actually suffer the direct consequences?
Well, I think that that's a fair question that has affected, that impacts this question of fairness. But, you know, slavery's legacies continue to impose harm on modern day populations that were not enslaved. So the descendants of enslaved persons still suffer from some of these legacies, one of the worst being, of course, racism. And that can affect every aspect of life. In addition, there's a huge racial wealth gap between the descendants of the formerly enslaved and the majority population. And that's something that is directly traceable to the outcome of slavery, and it really deserves some sort of redress.
That's right, and you could talk about education, the lack of education that many people have suffered.
Education, healthcare, access to jobs. I mean, it really goes across the board.
So how do you put a dollar figure on this, Dr. Westley?
Well, I tried not to put a dollar figure on it. I think that the most important thing is for people to be talking, to bring a high profile to the issue and to get people talking seriously, and perhaps those talks leading in the direction of a consensus settlement or solution to inequality.
So you don't think it's necessarily money? It could be education, it could be healthcare, it could be other.
Well, I don't think that it's just a material redress. I mean, there are all kinds of symbolic redress that could be done that may cost some money, but is not really the most expensive part of a reparations program. But, you know, just giving people a check, I don't really support. I think that at this stage, what we're really looking for is a process that would involve community-based programs that honor the memories of those who were harmed, educate future generations about the harms done by chattel slavery, and promotion of anti-racist policy, public policy.
If reparations actually do occur in these countries, do you believe that other countries would follow suit? Would it be a domino effect?
Well, I think a more likely scenario would be some sort of regional settlement. I mean, the slave systems, the slave trade and slavery was a system-wide practice, and it affected many, many different countries, but it really affected the people. So it's not so much I think that what's interesting about the nation state claims is that you need to have that status in order to bring these claims with the international court. But the harms actually affect the people, not the nations.
Dr. Robert Westley joining us from New Orleans, Louisiana. Thank you for your insight and your time.
Thank you very much.